Welcome to Side Roads. I'm Carlos, and this is a 2024 Cadillac XT4. Special thanks to the team at Quantrill, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac for providing the car for this video. The 2024 Cadillac XT4. I was really looking forward to drive this car because I drove the previous model from this one, which this one comes with a very interesting update that I'm going to be talking about soon. So it's super nice to me as a new car reviewer and a car lover in general to see it from car to car, from generation to generation, or from the upgraded ones or updated ones, and see the difference and all this stuff. So the XT4 for 2024 engine remains the same, which is a 2.0 little 4-cylinder turbo engine that produces 235 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It is paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission. The XT4 comes available with 2-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The one that I'm driving comes with all-wheel drive. The engine has also cylinder deactivation system that will help you save fuel when you are coasting or in the downhill or in situations like that, or if you are a chill driver, the engine should go to less cylinders. That's always good, and it should work seamless, so you will never notice that. And it also has some drive mode, I believe 3, which includes a sport one that changes the throttle response and the shifting from the transmission. That's pretty much it, but also good to have. So the XT4 is a compact SUV on the luxury segment that competes with cars like the BMW X1, the Mercedes GLA, the Audi Q3, and the Volvo XC40. For the 2024 model year, which they were selling 2024's or maybe late 2023's as 2024, so there was a overlapping on the upgrades versus the model year. But anyway, for this upgraded model, on the outside there is a new grille, a new front bumper and back bumper design. The lights change, the LED front lights change. I believe the tail lights remain the same. There is a little bit of a, depending on the trim, you can have them smoked or clear, but the overall tail lights, I believe, remain the same. So the major changes are on the front, which all Cadillac's models are moving in that direction, with a split of the headlights and a little bit of a more modern design, while keeping the Cadillac traditional vertical lines, which is pretty cool. These are some of the standard safety features that you will get on your XT4. Forward collision alert, rear park assist, rear cross traffic braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, automatic emergency braking, blind zone steering assist, and front pedestrian and bicyclist braking. Fuel efficiency for the XT4 is 10 liters per 100 kilometers city and 8.1 liters per 100 kilometers highway on the front wheel drive versions, which is 24 mpg city and 29 mpg highway. Then we have 10.4 liters per 100 kilometers city and 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers highway on the all-wheel drive version, which is 23 mpg city and 28 mpg highway. Price for the XT4 in Canada, it starts around the 44,000 Canadian dollars. The top trim comes around 52,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, the base starts around 39,000 US dollars, and the top trim comes around 43,000 US dollars. In both cases, Canadian and the US, is without options. The Cadillac XT4 interior. This is a 2024, and the interior is where most of the updates are. I will say the front bumper and the lights, and also here in the interior. And this, to me, is a showstopper. Cadillac, GM products, but Cadillac in general, the lineup is getting renewed with this type of technology and design inside, and I think they are hitting this out of the park. It is beautiful, it is extremely well put together, the design is close to perfection, and the materials and the quality and the attention to details and the refinement, the screaming on luxury in your face, don't ride, is here to make everybody in this segment be scared. So the main feature here, of course, is this 33 inches digital LED screen. It's beautiful, it's a full screen, there is no divisions, there is divided here, but it is well done. It's not a cheap, let's stock stick to screens here. It's just very, very luxurious and high-tech and high-end way of putting a screen. I'm not a super fan of screens like this. I like them. I am a little bit of old school, so I think I prefer the technology while keeping the old layout, traditional layout in dashboards. But this one, I'm telling you, is helping me change my mind. And on top of that, Cadillac put it on top of this shelf here, which has like an Alcantara material here or something, and they have this stitching here, so it's just not a screen thrown here. There is design, and very tasteful design, which I'm freaking loving. So this 33 inches screen, you can control your gauge cluster here. You can add the maps on the gauge cluster, and then you still have your function display in the bottom, and there is a clean view, which only your speed, which at the end of the day when you are driving, that's pretty much what you need. So that is super cool. And you can also control and see on the left here your trips and your car information. So that right there, super well done, super smart, super simple to use. Remember, this is Cadillac, this is luxury. The demographic of their customers, I'm sure this could attract younger buyers, but in general they need to make sure that this is user friendly, because not necessarily kids coming out of school are going to get into a Cadillac. So that's there. And then the main screen for the infotainment has these huge icons that are pretty, extremely super clear. The design is beautiful, it's so tasteful. And then you have different menus, and this comes with Google Maps built in, and Google Assistant, which is like having your Google or Siri helping you. Sorry for that, Google. And of course it's super responsive, and up to what people expect these days with a hands-free assistant, so that's super cool. But the fact that they have Google Maps already built in is really, really cool. And then you can pinch, you can zoom, you can move around. It's so clear. Like, you will never want to see maps in your phone ever again after looking at this. So it's really, really well done, really beautiful, super high tech, super high definition. I cannot get enough of how good this is. To have this chrome on the exterior of the screen, but it doesn't shine in your face, and adds a little bit of level. And the screen is also kind of floating here. So again, the design of this, the way that they put together and design and went for this layout on this dashboard is second to none. It's just top notch. I am loving this. The steering wheel, of course, is leaded and heated. You have power seats, of course, both passenger and driver, and they have memory seats for the passenger, of course. I don't know what I'm saying, all these. The air conditioning controls are here, super simple, super easy to use, super also modern and high definition. And when you use them, the numbers change, but it looks like a little screen. It's just incredible. And then you have some additional hard buttons here in the lower level, so you can control your heated seats, ventilated seats as well. So you have your Kobe here, and wireless charging as well, and have this in the center console, this little nut that you can put your phone so it won't slide inside the console. Is all here is so smartly done. And GM products and Cadillac, let's give the credit here for Cadillac, or to Cadillac, it's just very simple, very clean, very modern, but very user-friendly and useful. So it has also this brush metal trim here with shiny metal there. It's just, and a little bit of shiny black on a teeny tiny line that nobody will look. These things here to move your air vents have a little bit of a design as well. This is just incredible. It's next level. This is a luxury car competing in a luxury segment, and any single luxury feature that you may expect, you will find here. I am super impressed. The seats are of course leather, but they have, and this one, they are wide, which I think makes the car very light and nice. Maybe hard to maintain, but that's okay. And has this also, again, an Alcantara darker or black portion here with blue contrasting stitching, and the blue is in the white as well. It is beautiful and unique and tasteful. I like this. They come in black and they come in tan. They have a few colors to choose from, so that's good. You don't have to go for white. It's just beautiful, and the seats are super comfortable here in the front and in the back. I fit behind myself in the back with space. I mean, maybe it's not the bigger, but this segment, they are not experts on back seat space, so this is good and competitive. And then the trunk is also useful. It's a decent and practical size, so that will be okay. Of course, they have this panoramic sunroof here, which brings a lot of light to the cabin. So you know, this cabin to me screams money and luxury and modern and up to date, but also practical and user friendly. That to me is absolutely necessary when throwing a screen, because this can be confusing and overwhelming for some people. Not here. This is like having the typical Cadillac system or GM overall system, which is one of the best in my opinions, in a very modern screen. So it is impressive, I guess that's the word, and I am sold. I love this. I think it's the best. So how is to drive the XT4? Well, I have a pretty extensive background on this little car because I drove one from Canada to Florida in the US. So I'm pretty familiar with the driving dynamics, and I can happily report that they are good. So this is a luxury car and it's a Cadillac, so comfort is the word of the day and the aiming for the car for sure, and they achieve that. The cabin is pretty quiet, the steering is pretty light, which I'm sure all Cadillac customers are super happy about, but also pretty responsive, so it's not that vague considering how light it is, and I like that. Then the suspension is also set for the soft side, which I completely understand. This is what this car is pointing to in terms of customers and part of the market that it competes at, so it's good. It makes it really, really comfortable. I don't find the suspension overly floaty, so I like that. And because of the dimensions of the car, then it feels really controllable and it feels somehow connected, which is good. So it's a pretty smart line between soft and comfortable, but it's still enjoyable to drive, and some level of relationship between the road and the driver and the car, which I like, for considering that this is a luxury, comfort-oriented vehicle. The 2-liter turbo is really responsive. I really like this engine here. It has all the power and torque that you need for the size of the car, and the acceleration is pretty quick. You can barely feel any turbo lag here. Maybe a little bit of the beginning out of a stop, but other than that, it feels linear, it responds well, and it feels really peppy and powerful as well. So you will get up there pretty quick. And if you combine that with how silent and quiet the cabin is, and the soft of the suspension, so it's a pretty satisfying car to drive overall, for sure. As I said, I took it for a 2.5 days drive, and it was very, very, very comfortable on the highway. So the seats, of course, are leather, but are very comfortable, which helps with that long trip I took. And now that I'm test driving this, it's a revised model, and it feels as comfortable, as quiet, as nice to drive. I wasn't expecting this on this car because I figured it was going to be a lot softer and Cadillac-like, but there are some elements here of driving that are more like what I like in a car. It's not overly dynamic, it's not overly sporty, but it's also not so away from the driving that will scare me. I like this car overall, and I see why people like this car, and I can recommend this car, and I would even consider this car because it's properly sized and is fun enough, or sporty enough, or responsive enough to drive, but it's also really comfortable and really premium. So there is a formula here that I really, really like. It's not my first option personally, but I really, really like this car. The brakes are also pretty responsive, and as I said, overall, when you put all those elements together, I think Cadillac found a very almost perfect point and very balanced point on the whole car experience. And because it's smaller, it's easy to drive in the city and pretty easy to toss around, and I think plenty of people will be super happy about this car, and I also see and understand why it's selling so well, and I like it a lot. The 2024 Cadillac XT4 with its revised exterior and the amazing upgrades in the interior is putting the German brands on notice.